suspensions, and then the colloids. So now we will have a discussion, or we will discuss more about the concept on suspension. So whenever we talk about the suspensions, in this case the solute particles, whenever they are mixed with the solvent, they remain suspended in the solution. So this is the case of solution in which I have the solvent particles, and somewhere here I can find the solute particles. That means they remain suspended over the solvent. They do not mix into the solvent, as in the case was the true solution. So now let us have the properties of suspension. So the first property is that they remain suspended throughout the solvent. The next is similar to the first one, that means it forms a heterogeneous type of mixture in which the composition is not same throughout. Sometimes the upper portion may have more of solute, less of solvent, and the bottom portion may have more of solvent and less of solute, depending upon what type of solute is being mixed into the solvent. The third property of the suspensions is that whenever you want to separate the solute from the solvent, the simplest method is the case of filtration. So filtration can be done to separate the solute from the solvent, because they are a very large size, and you can separate them with the help of a filter paper. The case of filtration is not possible for the true solutions, because in that case it is a homogeneous mixture, and if you pass the filter paper, the whole solution will pass to the filter paper and nothing will be left as residue or the filtrate. The fourth important property of the suspensions is that they show the Tyndall effect. So Tyndall effect is basically that effect which disperses the light. So for example, if I have the solution like this, the suspension like this, and if I put a torch in a dark room, and when the light particles from the torch go to the suspension, so they will diverge in all directions. This is the case of Tyndall effect. Because the particles are of larger size, they are able to disperse the light, and thus they will show Tyndall effect. So that is an important property of suspensions. That is not the property of the case of true solutions. Now if we talk about the particle size or the diameter of the solute particles, it is somewhat near 10 to the power minus 5 centimeters or more. So it has a very large size as compared to the true solutions. They also pass through the filter. Their separation can be done with the help of filter paper. They show Tyndall effect, and they are heterogeneous. Now when we are discussing about the properties, there are some examples which should be kept in mind. So the first important example is the example of sand in water. Because as you know, sand is not mixed in water, it remains suspended over time. So with the passage of time, sand will settle at the bottom and the water will be left on the upper portion. That is how the sand and water are not mixed. Even chalk and water also form a suspension in which the chalk particles will not mix with the water particles, and if you keep this beaker or this solution for some time undisturbed, the chalk particle will settle at the bottom and the water will be left on the top. So in this case, if I have chalk in water and if I keep the solution for undisturbed for about 2 to 3 minutes, the chalk particles will come at the bottom and the water will remain at top. So this is the chalk particles and this is the water particles if the solution is kept undisturbed for a period of 2 to 3 minutes. So as we have discussed the important properties and the examples of suspension, you can clearly see the difference between the true solutions and the suspensions. The true solutions were homogeneous, that means they will completely pass through the filter paper. But in the case of suspensions, because they remain suspended in the solvent, that means they are heterogeneous, and when you pass through the filter paper, the residue will be left. That is the difference between the suspensions and the true solutions. When we talk about the colloids, so they have properties similar to that of suspensions as well as true solutions. A separate video has been made on the colloids with various examples as well as properties. So this was the concept on suspensions. We have discussed the examples, we have discussed the properties of suspensions, and a bit we have discussed the comparison between suspensions and the true solutions. So as we have discussed the three different types of mixtures, that is true solution, suspensions and the colloids, now we will have a comparison between these three types of mixtures. So let us discuss the differentiation between these three mixtures. So first is the concept of true solution. Then we have the colloids. And then we have suspension. So as you know, these three are the types of mixtures, and all these three have different properties. But when we are discussing the difference between these three, we will have certain properties on which we will differentiate between these three. So for example, if I take the property of the appearance. So how do they appear in the surroundings? As you know, true solution is an example of salt in water. So it forms a homogeneous mixture. So the appearance of true solution is the homogeneous mixtures. For the case of colloids, like the example of milk, it is not particularly homogeneous, or it is not actually heterogeneous. So it is intermediate between homogeneous and heterogeneous. But we can write it in the category of heterogeneous. Now in the case of suspensions like salt and water, it is completely heterogeneous. Now if we also talk about the opacity, like in the case of true solutions, we can exactly see the other side of the particle, other side of the beaker also. That means the category true solutions is transparent. You are clearly able to see the other side of the beaker also. But in the case of colloids, it is actually translucent. You are not able to see everything very clearly, but yes, partially you can able to see. So it is translucent. However, in the case of suspensions, it is completely opaque. Now let us discuss the property of the particle size, which is very important. Like you know, I have discussed in the video of colloids also. The particle size of colloids is between the particle size of true solutions and the case of suspensions. So the next property is particle size. The particle size of true solutions is less than 1 nanometer, that is around 10 to the power 5 centimeters. In the case of suspensions, it is more than 100 nanometer. And so in the case of colloids, it is between 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer. This is the category for the particle size. Now let us discuss the category of stability. Like we have seen that these solutions are homogeneous, that means they are quite stable. They do not settle down at the bottom after some time. Also is the case for the colloids. Like if we talk about the milk, so the milk particles will not settle at the bottom, they will remain suspended in the entire solvent. However, in the case of suspensions, after some time the sand, because it is heavy, so it will settle at the bottom. So it is an unstable type of mixture. The next example or the next property that we will discuss is the property of Brownian motion. I have discussed in detail the concept of Brownian motion in the video on colloids, but as you know, Brownian motion is a zigzag motion of the particles, and it is only seen in the case of colloids. It is not seen in case of true solutions nor in the case of suspensions. So Brownian motion is not visible in true solutions. It is visible in colloids, and it is not visible in the case of suspensions. Also is the case for Tyndall effect. Tyndall effect is a property of scattering of the light by the particles of the true solutions, suspensions or colloids, and it is only possible when the particle size is larger. So Tyndall effect is not obeyed by the true solutions, but yes, it is obeyed by colloids as well as the suspensions. Now we have discussed quite a few properties. Now in the end, I will suggest you to write some examples also. This difference is really very important for the examination point of view, and more than the difference, the examples are also very important. So in the case of example of true solutions, I can write sugar in water or maybe salt in water. So I can write NaCl in water. NaCl is the salt and water is the solvent. So solute and solvent will make a homogeneous or a true solution. In the case of colloids, I have numerous examples like blood, milk, jellies. So all the examples of the colloids. In the case of suspensions, I have chalk in water or maybe sand in water. Now these were the concepts based on suspensions and colloids and true solutions. We have discussed the important properties based. We have discussed the basic difference between these three on certain properties, and then in the end we have discussed the examples. This was the concept on suspensions. We have discussed the properties of suspension and the examples of suspension, and in the end we have discussed what is the difference between the true solutions, colloids, and the suspensions.